of different folks with us tonight. Before we get started with the usual, hearing from all the different organizations and businesses, I just have some BCN announcements. Got lots of fun stuff coming up, and we're really excited to share some new things. If you haven't heard yet, Sisters in Survival is a new program that's up and running. It has 4 components, all designed for people of color. The 4 components are an in-person support group, a Zoom support group that's on a Saturday, one-on-one counseling, and peer support. Those are all able to be registered for right on our website, bcnwny.org. Same website where you registered for this tonight. In line after that, we've got walking and hiking clubs starting on May 18th. Introductory walk is going to be at Knox Farm in East Aurora. And if you're interested in attending that or any of the other walks or hikes that are to come after that, just shoot me an email. My email is my first name, Rachel @bcnwny.org. And the website will be updated with days and times and locations as we kind of progress through the season. We'll get more of those lined up for you guys. And then next is the Day of Renewal. Our next one is planned and set for July 20th. It's going to take place in Hamburg, right at the Trinity Episcopal Church on Main Street. So right outside the village, almost on your way into Boston. And we're going to have 3 sessions for that. We're going to have our drum circle, humor as coping, and a chair yoga session. So that can be registered for right on our website as well. That'll run from about 9:30 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon with a lunch included as well. So that's really exciting. I'm looking forward to that one. The space there is absolutely gorgeous. Lots of room. And the outdoor area is beautiful as well. There'll be time to explore that. And lastly, just stay tuned for events that are going to be upcoming in October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're going to have a few different things going, hopefully another Day of Renewal, as well as a fundraiser walk with American Cancer Society, and a couple other possibilities in the works. So stay tuned for those types of events, and hopefully we'll see you at something very soon. And with that, I want to pass the mic over to Christine from Nickel City. Hello there. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'll just start.
Yeah, go for it.
As Rachel said, my name's Christine. Christine Cook. I own and I'm a licensed esthetician at Nickel City Skin Spa and Boutique. I've been a practicing esthetician for 17 years. And in 2017, a training came across my desk for oncology aesthetics through believe it or not, a South African woman who was living in Saskatchewan at the time, and she was doing online and live training. And I knew the direction for my career was something I always wanted to help people with skin concerns that were a little bit more than just your average breakout or fine lines. And I took the training in 2017 and started practicing oncology aesthetics in 2018. Once I was finished with my training, I've since gone on through a mentorship with a company called Oncology Spa Solutions, and her name is Becky. And she is the most incredible person. A breast cancer about when she was 18 led her through this journey, and she is just incredible in helping estheticians kind of direct their practice. Now, oncology aesthetics is just that. As an esthetician, we are concerned primarily with the skin. We can offer cosmetic services such as makeup applications, brow tutorials, hair removal and skin and body treatments such as facials, salt glows, body wraps, and such. And why that's beneficial is that the therapies are not only beneficial, obviously, cosmetically, but throughout someone's journey with cancer before, diagnosis, before treatment, during treatment, after treatment. We all offer relaxation, comfort, and improved well-being by offering services that offer some relief, as well as some self-care and a non-invasive touch. I'm going to include a little bit with massage here because at my location, we have 2 estheticians who are practicing oncology estheticians, and we also have 1 oncology trained massage therapist, as well as another massage therapist going through the training. So we're really trying to provide a full service environment for those who are on this journey. And again, like I said, it's not just during treatment, it's before and after, as things can change. So the cancer treatments such as chemotherapy, the radiation, they cause skin sensitivity, dryness, changes in complexions, and the aesthetic treatments are specifically designed to help individuals kind of maneuver their journey and alleviate some of the issues, and providing hydration, soothing effects, improving the overall appearance of the skin, and offering an opportunity to feel a little bit more comfortable in their skin while it's transitioning through this journey. The massage aspects, on the other hand, again, it's a non-invasive touch. It's helping to reduce anxiety, stress, pain, which are common during treatment. Most touch during that is doctor visits, chemotherapy. Massage can also improve blood circulation, help relieve muscle tension, promotes relaxation, and increasing the physical comfort, which again helps the mindset and improves the mental well-being. We offer not only our skincare services as facials and massage to help those going through treatment, but we also offer classes, which is we have hands-on guided self facials with a selection of products in a nice kit that is created with products that are we like to say clean as opposed to organic, and we like to stay away from chemical free because everything is a chemical. Even water. So it's a little bit of greenwashing sometimes with products, but we like to put together comprehensive kits for people to give them about 3 or 4 weeks worth of product that offer their skin a little respite, a little bit of healing, nutritive, help build the barrier function of the skin. Our skin is our largest organ, so it kind of lets you know what's going on inside and outside. And that dry, itchy, sensitized feeling is something that can be addressed topically as these side effects are taking place externally. And as you know, our listeners probably know, once you have a cancer diagnosis, it's really like learning a new language and being overwhelmed in that aspect as well. And the classes that we hold, the skincare classes, I'll talk a little bit about the brow tutorials, nail care classes that we have. It's creating a community as well, which is really the most satisfying part of what we do. And while I love being one-on-one with clients, I love seeing the interaction of the group of people who someone may have already been through what someone else is just starting. And those conversations and those relationships and those friendships are really just like that's the juice, man. That's what we want to see. And that's part of what BCN is as well, is creating that community of support for people. And we just offer it through the fun stuff of skincare and cosmetics and brows, um, and offering that self-care support, that building of the well-being of, mind, body, spirit, skin, aspect. We're also, we try and assist people who are experiencing hair loss, which is probably, I think, the most profound side effect for people to deal with. We as women are so um inundated with uh beauty in on social media, in advertising, and so sometimes that hits really hard for a lot of people um dealing with that. So we do offer some brow tutorial classes, which is just a nice natural technique for creating a natural brow shape. Again, the kits are customized and take home, and it is in a classroom setting. We do offer one-on-ones as well, but it is in a group setting where people can kind of have that opportunity to have a little bit of fun, which makeup should be, and building that community as well. Um, Chemotherapy, surgery, radiation can lead to side effects, like I said, hair loss, skin sensitivity, dryness, excuse me. And, topically addressing those really help with the self-esteem aspect and kind of putting your best self forward, both, visually, mentally, spiritually. And we try and address things as a holistic um, approach with um, throughout the classes and the one-on-one services. I think I've gone off on a little bit of a tangent, so let me come back to my notes. We're Nickel City is looking to become a respite for those who have just received a diagnosis, to kind of help maneuver this. We'd like to invite people who are in treatment to come and kind of deal with some of the side effects that they're dealing with in the moment, and then also coming out through it and dealing with changes that have happened through both hair, skin, and nails. And we have a great support network with Naturel, Amy Hartle Massage, and with the Breast Cancer Network. It's really just a great opportunity to build that group. I think that's all I have right now.
Thank you, Christine. That was fantastic. I feel like that was so much that you just fit into there. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, a potential brow seminar, maybe like a future learning series, because I know I would be interested in that. So I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there that would be interested in that.
Definitely.
It's a wonderful, wonderful class. I talk about the community aspect of what we do at Nickel City, and I don't want to negate the one-on-one services and the healing aspect of receiving a facial or a massage on someone who is trained and knowledgeable about chemotherapy, about radiation, and can kind of help you you know transition's not the word I'm looking for, but kind of help you maneuver on this journey that you're on. But it really truly is the community and the classes that really just it I have goosebumps talking about
It
it,
makes
because
a difference. It really does.
and to know that it's the group that everybody's learning how to do this, that you don't just pick up a brow pencil and be like, oh yeah, I'm really good at this. And it's giving yourself grace and seeing that someone else may be a little bit more advanced or a little bit behind you in terms of skill set, and the assistance and the conversation it's just perfect. I say French kiss, not French kiss, I'm sorry, chef's kiss.
Oh, perfect note to end on. Love that. Next up, we're gonna switch gears and go over to Au Naturel to hear from the wonderful women over there. How is everybody tonight?
Hi, Rachel. Thanks for having us. We're doing good.
Good.
I'm Eileen Tremont, and I'm the owner of Au Naturel. I'm here with my daughter, Jessica Nealens, who's going to be joining us in July. I just want to thank the Breast Cancer Network for inviting us to participate in this panel and for all the wonderful things you do for the women of Western New York. We appreciate that. Let me just give you a brief history of Au Naturel. It started with a woman who was a breast cancer survivor, had a mastectomy back in the 1980s, and had nowhere to get a breast prosthetic. At the time, reconstruction wasn't an option for her. She went into a medical supply store, and basically there was a man behind the counter that said, here's a catalog, pick out your breast. She was appalled by that and decided to open up and start this business in the basement of her home. One of the breast surgeons at the time, Dr. Nemoto, filtered his patients to her, and she started it all. She became ill at some point, and the business was purchased by my brothers. And then in 2005, my husband and I bought the business, and it's no longer in a basement. It's located on 5977 Main Street, cute little greenhouse right in the village of Williamsville. And it's designed to be a boutique. It clearly a breast prosthetic, and the bras we sell are surgical items. They're billable to insurance, but our concept was to try and make it feel like more like a shopping experience in a setting that's set more like a retail store. So the women's, they love coming to something that isn't quite so medical. I'm going to talk about the progression of care and the garments that we can offer to get women through their surgery, to their final fitting, and then the services we provide for them yearly as their insurance and as their doctors require it. We're going to start with this post-surgical cami. So it's meant for women who are having mastectomies. They often have drain tubes that come from underneath their arm, and then the fluids after the mastectomy are caught in a little bulb that sort of hangs at their hip off of this tubing. And this garment is designed to hold those little tubes in a little pocket here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but that helps manage those drains bulbs. It's cotton, it's comfortable, it's meant to be stepped into as opposed to putting your arms over your head. And then this is going to get you through the first couple of weeks of surgery until you see the doctor and the drainage tubes come out. And at that point, we can fit you for a leisure bra, which is, again, just a cotton, soft, comfortable bra that buckles in the front. I don't have one to show you, but it's a pretty standard sort of athletic bra that will get you to, a couple weeks of healing before the doctor says you can come in and do your regular fitting. And I'm going to hand it over to Jess, and she's going to talk about the products that we have for those women that have had mastectomies.
Yep. So all of the bras that we sell come specially fitted with a pocket. So I have one here that I can show you and try to show you with the pocket, but we really try, there's a pretty good selection of the different styles we carry. This is one of the new spring selections. It's a little bit, it really looks like something you would get in any lingerie shop, but again, it is a medical supply. So the pocket, you can kind of see it here. And then this is one of the breast prosthetics that would be specially fitted. Lots of different options there. And then all you do is, and we would make sure to do this in the fitting room so that it's a comfortable fit. We have garments that we can kind of drape over you to make sure that clothing is going to look good. But as you can see, it fits in. It's again, it's hard on Zoom, but you can kind of see how that fills out. And then obviously for a double mastectomy, there would be two prosthetics, one on either side. So that's for anybody having a mastectomy. And then the other options, this is what is called a shaper. Yes. And this is for lumpectomy. So it's a little bit different shaped, but there's lots of different options and products that we carry, and that's kind of the benefit of coming in for a fitting. You know, you probably hear like local businesses and local lingerie shops that are doing lots of bra fittings now, and that is basically what we try to set up for the women as well, to make it a very comfortable experience, very private and intimate, so that they, you know, feel very comforted through this obviously vulnerable time. We also have started carrying a line of lumpectomy products. So previously, before January, that was something that was not, am I jumping? Lymphedema, I'm sorry. I was looking at
Yeah.
lumpectomy on the note. So before January of 2024, that was something that was not billable to insurance. That has fortunately changed. So now there are special products that our manufacturer, Amona, actually hired a lymphedema specialist to create a whole line of products specific for individuals with lymphedema. This person used to work for Juzo, and which is one of the biggest companies that works on compression garments. So she was able to come in and kind of really put attention to detail in terms of those products. So previously we were fitting patients with very bulky kind of garments. Now there's a lot better fitting items. There's bras that are kind of fitted with different channels to help make sure that there's movement and massaging of that area constantly. And then there's this really cool new product that is basically an insert into your bra that has kind of these small bumps on the inside. Again, it can be cut to be fitted to that area so that it's comfortable and not, you know, a little bit more discreet. But the theory is that as a woman moves about her day, that is able to massage the area to keep the lymph kind of moving and mobile, which is really a huge benefit for our patients, and something that we've found has been really beneficial. And we're still kind of navigating it all, but we're definitely moving in the right direction, that, you know, we're starting to recognize that as an area of need.
Yeah, because as with all things insurance, you know, it's never easy.
Mhm.
It's complicated, but we're working through the complications, and for whatever reason, there is a lot of lymphedema out there. We can't quite understand it, but in the 17, 18 years I've been doing this, we're seeing such an increase. I don't know if you know, there's just more attention being paid to it, but it's wonderful to know that there are products now that are being channeled into the marketplace that you know, can help women who are suffering from that. So Jess touched on lumpectomy. We also help women with reconstruction through the reconstruction process. You know, it's not automatic in a lot of cases. Sometimes it takes several months for the expanders to do their job, and, you know, for the final surgery where the implant is placed. So we have products that can help women through that progression as well. Same concept, you know, where there's a breast form that maybe is a little hollowed out, that can make room for the expansion as it's happening. So that's just something to keep in mind. There's also times when reconstruction, for whatever reason, fails. So we like to make sure people are aware that we can help women through that as well. These are all medical products, so they are billable to insurance. We deal with all the insurance companies locally, as well as national companies like Aetna and United Healthcare. There is often a copay that's associated with it. We try and do as much research for the client to make sure they're aware of what their out-of-pocket expense is going to be before they leave the store that day. But again, with all things insurance, you never know for sure until you know, bill it and see how that all plays out. But it is, again, something we offer. We bill the insurance company on the patient's behalf. And in order to do that, the doctor has to order the products. So we just require a doctor's prescription. We are in the shop Monday through Thursday from 9 to 5. We're there 9 to 3 on Fridays. We also have Saturday hours, 10 to 1. And most times, well, more by appointment, but most times after your appointment, you are able to leave with at least you know, something, so that after your first visit, you're not going home empty-handed for the most part. And I think, did we cover those?
There are products aside from bras and prosthetics that we also carry. So we also have, I always like to mention bathing suits because I think that's something we don't think of initially when, I'm sure there's a lot of things people aren't thinking of as they're going through this process, but also carry a line of bathing suits that are fitted with a pocket as well. So that can be a seamless transition for women going through this process. And there's also, we also do wigs that we can help kind of work through that. That is an out-of-pocket expense in most cases. But we also have wigs available if that's something that, a woman wants to be able to be fitted with. A few different options in terms of that piece as well.
Yes, and we are certified. We go through an accreditation process with the American Board of Orthotists, and I don't know, it's a very long name. We're certified and accredited. And Amy, who's been with us she actually started with Phyllis, the woman who started this in her basement 40 years ago. So she's done a lot of fittings over her lifetime. Her name is Amy Nice, and she is the sweetest person on the planet. She's perfectly suited to help women who are going through what they're going through. So she's our full-time girl. We have I also do fittings. We have another part-time girl who's a certified fitter. We all have to go through continuing education in order to keep up our certifications. So you will be well taken care of if you come and visit us.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, ladies.
Welcome. Thank you.
Yes. And I've got to say, I've been to your space and I got to tell everybody tuned in tonight. It does feel just like any other boutique or store where you're just there to shop. It just so happens that you're there for a particular type of shopping, but the ladies there are experts at it. So you're in good hands. It's a nice space. I've been to the surgical stores before and it's a big difference in feeling, just walking in the doors, the different energy.
Yeah, one more thing before we go. We often, almost daily, or at least weekly, we hear women who, once they go through the process and come and see us and get fitted, they're, as Christine alluded to, you get to a point where you want to feel like yourself again, and we're all part of that process. And once you make the appointment and you come in, I guarantee you it's going to make you feel better. We hear it all the time. So yeah, it's an important part of the recovery.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. All right. So then we are going to chat with Erie County Cancer Services. I think they're unmuting as we speak. Perfect.
Yes, so
There
I
we
am
go.
I'm just attempting to share my screen, everybody, so bear with me, please. Let me know that you can see this. Can everybody see this?
Yep.
I can see it, Suzanne.
Good.
Oh, okay, perfect. So thank you so much for inviting us tonight, Breast Cancer Network. We're very honored to be here. Fortunately, our program has a long-standing relationship with Breast Cancer Network, and Rob, our boss, our director of our program, has been involved, and we've been very supportive and had patients that, have also participated in Breast Cancer Network. So thank you. Lisa and I have been with the program for a few years now, so we're sort of the newbies. So we're excited to be able to present a little bit of our program today. This is just a very small piece of what we do, but we are the outreach staff. So we go out in the community, we educate people on cancer screening options, what age to get screened, different kinds of screenings, and then just some general preventive cancer information as well. So we're going to touch on a few things tonight. Cancer is the second leading cause of death among New Yorkers. I love starting with that one because I get some interesting guesses. People want to know what the first cause of death is in New York State, and it's actually heart disease. So once I say that out there, it's really, a lot of people shake their heads. Yep, no surprise. We know that screening can save lives. We know that if we look for cancer early and we find it sooner, we have better outcomes. And the good news is 2 cancers that our program cover, cervical, colon, and of course, we also do breast. But cervical and colon cancer are preventable cancers. That's really cool. And a lot of people don't know that I can actually prevent those 2 cancers. Well, tell me more. Let me hear how to do it. And this is a little scary fact. So colorectal cancer rates, they have been increasing by 2% every year since the 90s. So this is an up and coming cancer. This is an alarming rate. Lisa's going to talk a little bit more about that specific stat, just to show that it's on the rise, especially in younger and younger people, which is really scary. So I think everybody on this call probably is a little bit is familiar with what cancer is, but when we're out in the community, believe it or not, sometimes people just don't know. So I wanted to put this in there in case we had some community members joining us, so they wouldn't feel a little left out in the dust. So in the graphic at the bottom, those funky blue abnormal looking cells, those are cancer cells, and you can see them starting to cluster. They can form a tumor. What that does is that's interrupting the process of all the healthy cells around it. And the scary part is it can spread, and it can really spread throughout the body. So, the importance of screening and finding it early is absolutely, a focal point. So here's another thing, screening test. People don't always know what a screening test is. Well, why would I go to the doctor if I feel healthy? You don't want to go to the doctor. They wait till they have symptoms or they feel sick. But a screening test, you're looking for cancer before you have those symptoms. So that's the important aspect is many cancers, especially the ones we cover, don't have symptoms in the beginning. So you may not even know, which is even more reason to get screened. This is a little table. This is one of our outreach tables in the photo. March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. So we partner with TOPS, and we meet people where they're at. We get them in the grocery store. This one right in the produce section. We talk to people, hey, have you had a colorectal cancer screening? And, people don't know, well, when do I need to get that? Or nobody wants to think about it. So another thing about getting a screening, well, I feel good. I'll do it later. I'll do it next year. I'll do it in a month. But really, the time is now, and it's important to catch it early. The earlier, the better outcomes, the more treatment options you have. So unfortunately, there's no one specific cause of cancer, and we know this. There are things called risk factors, and risk factors can increase and decrease your odds of developing cancer. So I'll talk a little bit about the ones that we can't change. Lisa will talk about some of the risk factors that we can change, that we can do to reduce our risk of developing cancer. So age. The older we get, our cells are aging, the more likely they are to develop abnormal cells. And we know this, that, even though cancer does occur in young people, it's just more likely the older we get. Race. We know that race plays a factor. Black men have the highest rates of colorectal cancer and mortality. We know that. Same with African American Black women with breast cancer. That's something that your physician will take into consideration when figuring out your risk. And family history. And this one's important because some people don't know a family history, but really looking at that first degree relative. So your parent, a sibling, or a child, that's a direct connection, and that's very important to let your physician know with cancer that runs. Anything going second degree, so aunts, uncles, grandparents, I tell my doctor everything. I'm an open book. So I really let them know the full scope of that family history, but people don't always know that. And all the more reason to get screened. If you don't know, that's why you should look for it. And another thing, you can have no risk factors at all and still get cancer. Cancer doesn't care, doesn't care who we are. So these are the 3 cancers that our program covers. And I think I forgot to say in the beginning, so our program primarily targets about 40 to 64, usually after 64, at 65, Medicare kicks in. So that's insurance. But we cover screenings for these 3 cancers. We pay for them for people that have little to no insurance. So that's what's important. And we don't just cover the screening if there's further diagnostics needed. If there is cancer found and they need treatment, our program actually covers that as well if people don't have health insurance. So that's why we, have such a nice relationship with Breast Cancer Network as well. We do have patients that come through the program that benefit from your resources. And the cancer we're primarily going to focus on is colorectal cancer. But we do offer education on all three. I just figured this would be a good one to bring about because, you may be thinking, you've got your screenings, you're getting your mammograms, you've had your treatment. So now, let's put a little bit more out there, especially with the numbers and it being on the rise. It's a pretty important one now. So Lisa's going to talk a little bit more about the colorectal cancer and colon health, and she'll go into more of those details that I just kind of went over quickly in the beginning.
Okay, well, hello, everyone. We're going to talk a little bit about colon cancer. Colorectal cancer starts in the colon or the rectum. So your colon is your large intestine. It starts with precancerous growths called polyps. I like to think of polyps. Have you ever seen a tissue tag on someone? It's like a growth of cells. Those polyps can take years to form, but they can become cancerous. They need to be removed. According to the American Cancer Society, colorectal cancer will be the #1 cancer among 20 to 39-year-olds by 2030. So again, we mentioned earlier, it's increasing by about 2% each year. That's staggering. Next slide. Okay, so the rectum is part of the digestive tract. When we eat, it's going to move from the top of us to our stomach, then our small intestine, then our large intestine, and then out your body. Your large intestine is about 5 to 6 feet tall. So I'm 5'5". My colon is probably the same length as I am tall. And then it continues right out your anus. Next slide. Okay, so Suzanne mentioned some of the risk factors earlier. We're going to get a little bit further into risk factors. Getting older, 9 out of 10 colon cancers happen in ages 45 and older. So recently, in the last 2 years, they've changed the testing age from 50 to now 45. They're finding colon cancer in younger and younger people. So if you have a family history of polyps or any kind of colon cancer or bowel disease, you'd want to get tested sooner. And there are lifestyle factors. These are things that we can change. So these are things that we have control over. If you're overweight or obese, you need to look into losing some weight because the hormones can affect cancer. Drinking alcohol. So if you drink alcohol, you definitely need to limit that and be responsible with that. Not getting enough exercise. Tobacco use is a huge one. If you smoke, you need to quit. And then red and processed meats. So processed meats, think of like lunch meat, pepperoni on your pizza, and red meat, especially the more fatty cuts, the marbled with the white fat in there. If you're going to choose red meat, it should be leaner cuts. Next slide. And then a lot of times people ask us, well, what are the symptoms of colon cancer? Usually there's no symptoms, at least in the beginning. But if there are any symptoms, it's going to be changes. So you're going to notice blood in your stool or abnormal cramping, unexplained weight loss. That's a huge one. That's towards the end stage. But usually, in most cases, there's no symptoms. Next slide. So you do have some screening options. The gold standard would be a colonoscopy. That's where you're going to drink some liquid or take some pills. It's going to clean you out. The doctor's going to go in with a small camera and look around for those polyps. Now, those polyps, they can become cancerous, as we said, and they also bleed. So the doctor is going to want to snip those out to prevent cancer. Another option would be a sigmoidoscopy, which is a section of your colon. And then there is an option called a FIT kit, a fecal immunochemical test. This is a take-home kit that you do in the privacy of your home. There's no prep involved. You're going to send in a tiny sample of a fecal sample, and it's looking for blood in your stool. So again, those polyps, they bleed. If it was a positive fecal sample, then you'd need to go on for the full colonoscopy. Okay, next slide. So again, colonoscopy is done in a doctor's office or a medical place by a doctor looking for those polyps. If we remove those polyps, it prevents cancer. And again, those polyps, they develop very slowly. So if you've had a negative colonoscopy, you probably, unless you have a history of polyps or colon cancer, you wouldn't need to go back for 10 years. Next slide. So Cancer Services Program offers a free take-home colorectal cancer screening kit to insured and uninsured. This is our particular kit. Next slide. And so we're going to show you real quick how to use it. It's very easy. There's a tube with a little bit of water in it, and then there's some tissue paper. No prep involved. You're just going to lay that tissue paper in the toilet. It's going to catch your number 2 sample, and then you're going to take the bottle. It's got a little wand in there. Next slide. And you're going to take that sample and stick it in the bottle. Okay, once you've got the sample locked in the bottle with your name and information on it, you're going to wrap it in a piece of paper that's included. It goes in a biohazard bag. It's going to go in a self-addressed stamped envelope. You've got about 2 days to get it in the mail. Again, it's looking for blood in your stool. If it is a negative test, you'll get a letter in the mail from us saying it's negative. If it's positive, you're going to get a call, and you're going to need to go for that colonoscopy. Next slide. So who should be screened? All men and women ages 45 to 75. Again, men and women that are at higher risk need to screen earlier. So if you have a family history of colon cancer or other conditions, you would be at a higher risk. Next slide. Okay, so colon cancer can be prevented through regular screenings, and then we can lower our risk, as we said, drinking less alcohol, getting regular exercise, staying at a healthy weight, and eating healthfully. So what does that mean to you? To me, it means eating a high fiber diet. Think plants and vegetables, heavy on the fiber, not so heavy on the meat and dairy. And then if you smoke, you need to quit. Next slide. But seriously, get screened, know your risk, talk to your doctor. It's never too early to start that conversation.
So this is a neat, this is actually a coaster that we had done. We did trying to get more men screened. Men do not want to get cancer screenings. They are actually the lowest rate, especially for colorectal. So this was a coaster. And if anyone is interested on this call, you're between 45 and 75. These kits are free to everybody, regardless of insurance status. If you haven't had a colonoscopy in the past year and you don't have that first degree relative that had colon cancer, or don't suffer from any kind of bowel disease, like Crohn's disease, things like that, you can do one of these at-home screening kits. So we have a QR code right here on the screen. If you held your cell phone up on the picture, that's how you use a QR code. It'll take you right to a form that you fill out. We will mail the fit kit right to your home. So, there's really, it doesn't get easier than that. We did have a little bit of a return at the bars with men is getting this coaster, trying to, get people to read it, to look at it. We had a few. I wish we had more, but, we just got to, get those men out there, get them screened. And once again, just going over our program, this is what we do. So we cover the breast, cervical, and colorectal screenings for people that have little to no health insurance. And like I said, that spread the word. We've found that it's not, there are people in low income neighborhoods have Medicaid's insurance. So we find that it's a lot of self-employed individuals could use our program. People that don't have, the state health insurance, the marketplace is still too much. They don't want to pay it. Maybe they're a seasonal worker, maybe, who knows what their circumstances. So those are, Lisa and I, as we go out into the community to try and find people that can use our services. So even if this doesn't apply to you, if you know somebody, even someone between jobs, with the pandemic, a lot of people lost their jobs. So that would have been, that's a time when we can help them and pay for their screenings. It'd be free. We have a website, so everything we talked about and more is available on our website. We did a redesign within the past year, so we tried to make it highly graphic, hopefully easy to navigate. That's always a plus for us. We have a Facebook too, so I love QR codes. There's another one. You could follow us on Facebook. We do post any new information, anything we get, CDC, facts, things that come out, any changes in screening guidelines, also where we are in the community. So especially now with the weather picking up, we'll be at a lot of farmers markets, outdoors in the community, any opportunity we can get. And there's our information and our phone number. We're, a pretty small, dedicated department. Somebody always answers the phone. Everyone's, very helpful. So if you have any questions, you can call. I'll also go ahead and type in the chat box, mine and Lisa's email. If people prefer to email out, you can always do that. So I'll stop sharing now.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Great to hear what screening options are out there. Important. All right. So next up, we have Hope Chest. We're going to hear from Karen. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Rachel. Thank you for inviting me tonight to talk about Hope Chest. I appreciate that. I am hoping now that I am able to share my PowerPoint. Miranda and I practiced this earlier.
Yes, we did earlier. There
So,
should be a bar at the bottom that says share screen.
let's see. Here we go. Does everybody see it?
No, try like moving the screen that is like the shared part. I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh no.
Oh, it worked before. Let
Are
me
you
try
still on your
again.
iPad or are you on your laptop on a laptop?
No, I have a laptop. I'm on my iPad.
Okay.
Okay. Give this share. Help.
Let's see here.
You can always email it to me and then I can share it on my end and then you can just speak as
Yeah, Miranda, I think I did email it to you.
Yeah,
I got it. I'll share it.
okay, cool.
Well, while we're working on that, I can tell you a little bit about myself. I have been with Hope Chest since 2017. I was a 29-year breast cancer survivor, and then I developed a new cancer 2 years ago. So I have been participating even through treatment in this program. It was created through a friendship of these two women named Nina and Lori. They always wanted to become personal trainers. Unfortunately, Nina developed breast cancer, but she continued to exercise whenever she could, and she really wanted to make a difference in the lives of breast cancer survivors. So both of them developed a program in the year 2000 called Hope Chest. Unfortunately, Nina lost her 8-year battle with breast cancer just a few months before the Hope Chest team competed in their first race. Are you guys, is my PowerPoint up?
It is. Yep.
Okay, great. Hope Chest programs include exercise classes through Catalyst Gym. We have exercise classes on Maple Road, Seneca Street, and Worley Drive, and they're specific to Hope Chest members. The instructors are all certified and work with breast cancer survivors. Attending 40 Hope Chest classes a year, which is pretty easy to do. Your membership is paid by Hope Chest. We have nutrition classes that start in September and go through April. And they're offered at different locations. Right now, they're offered at Hurdle. Before that, they were offered at the library in Cheektowaga, and we had dietitians from Roswell come and speak with us. So those were once a month. They stop when paddling season starts, which is in May. To be part of Hope Chest, you don't have to paddle. You don't have to like get in the dragon boat. But I feel that's the best part of Hope Chest is getting out on that water. Twice a week we have practices down in the Buffalo River. Hope Chest or Dragon Boat consists of a boat. It's like a huge canoe, and there's 20 paddlers. You share a seat with someone. Someone paddles on the left, someone paddles on the right. There's a person who stands in the back of the boat who is the steer person, and then there's a person in the front. Well, right now it's our coach, but during races, there's someone who beats a drum. That is the most important thing with Hope Chest and being on a dragon boat is cadence. If we don't all paddle together, then our boat just rocks and doesn't move very fast. So it's a 44-foot long canoe with a dragon head and a tail, and there's 20 paddlers and the drummer and the steer person. It was started actually in China a long time ago. And in 1996, this doctor in Canada did some studies, and he realized that this particular exercise was very good for breast cancer survivors. The muscles that are used actually do like a pumping action and help prevent, or if you do have lymphedema, help with that pumping action to get rid of the fluid. A lot of our ladies in the boats have lymphedema, including myself. So we wear our sleeves, and it really doesn't feel bad. It feels actually like some of the swelling has gone down in my arm after I paddle. It doesn't make it any worse. It increases strength and range of motion, especially in your shoulders. You use your core and your shoulders. And we all know that exercise helps decrease chances of reoccurrence and provides a better quality of life. It's not a traditional support group. If people need that, we direct them to Breast Cancer Network for more traditional support groups. But it's great to be part of a team, and there is emotional support should someone, become sick, have a reoccurrence, or have a knee replacement. It doesn't matter. I mean, your team members come out, they bring meals, they send cards. It's a great group. It's a very positive group. Currently, we have 139, active members, and they range in age from 30s up to 80. So anybody can participate in the exercises. Even if some people have a hard time in class, like our instructor will get them a chair, some ladies can't get down on a mat. So it's tailored to the individual and what they can do or what they can't do. Here's a picture of us out on the water. There's the steer person in the back, and there's the drummer in the front. We're having a big Dragon Boat Festival. It's our biggest fundraiser, June 15th, down at Riverworks. And we have people from all over come and participate. We actually have a breast cancer team coming from California this year to participate. And during the ceremony, we have a coronation ceremony. So these were all breast cancer survivors from all over the US that came down to Riverworks and participated. And there's like a poem that is read, and everybody tosses their carnation into the river in memory of, people that unfortunately passed. So there's our festival coming up. Even if you don't want to, paddle, come down and watch it. It's a great day. We have the best raffle, basket raffles. There's food. It's a lot of fun. And I think, let me see, I believe that's it. If you're interested in trying out Hope Chest, you just go to www.hopechest, buffalo.org, and there's a button as soon as you go there that you hit and fill out a little information, and you'll get a 3-day pass for Catalyst Gym to try out those Hope Chest classes. And if you decide it's not for you, it's fine. Nothing gained, nothing lost. And if you really like it, you will be given a membership to Catalyst Gym. And you can participate in any of the programs. You don't have to go to a Hope Chest class. Like I said, you have to do 40 Hope Chest classes in a year, but you can go to the gym and do any class or work out on the machines. It doesn't have to be a Hope Chest class once you meet the 40 classes. We have a couple fundraisers throughout the year to help pay for people's memberships, the Dragon Boat Festival being the largest one. But we have calendar raffles. There's all different things that, different companies or chiropractors have benefits for us. Fishing boats have, donated money towards us. So it's a great organization. It's very positive.
Thank you so much, Karen.
Sure,
Wonderful.
Rachel.
Makes me want to get out there and start paddling.
Oh, it's great. I've already
Looks fun.
I've already been out twice, and I love it so much that I stay for both sessions. We have a 5:15 session and a 6:15 session, and we have 2 boats. So there's 40 plus women in the boats. And if there's room in the next session, I stay, because there's nothing like being out in that water and watching the sunset. And it's just beautiful. It's peaceful and it's energetic at the same time.
Love that. Love that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So if anybody has questions, feel free to type those right into the Q&A box. And either myself or Miranda will be able to see those, and we will direct them towards whoever needs to hear them. We'll pause here for a moment.
This is Suzanne with Erie County. I see, is that Miranda that put the comment about going for her first colonoscopy?
Yes. Yep. That was me.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that shouldn't happen. And when we talk to the community, and especially even with people who've gone through treatment, I always talk to people so much about screening and getting the screening at the right time is a lot like trust in your doctor. And if you're not feeling supported and they're not listening, get that second opinion, go to another doctor. And with cancer treatments and everything, it's very personalized. It's very individualized care. So if you feel like something might be amiss or you don't have that trust, go find somebody else. And our program, we work with a lot of the providers in the area, and we can always make that recommendation to people. So I'm sorry to hear that you had a hard time with that, with that history and things like that. But, that's the new age. The younger and younger, the rates were lowered from 50 to 45 to start screening, and they're talking about lowering it to 40 again for the colorectal screening. So, I'm glad that you advocated and got that colonoscopy.
Yeah, so my dad was diagnosed as stage 3 colon cancer in his early 40s, and they always say, go get a screening if it's like an immediate relative, 10 years or so roughly before, they were diagnosed. So that put me in my early 30s. And my primary doctor was like, do you have any like issues? And I'm like, no, but it's just mostly for like peace of mind. And she was kind of hesitant. And then finally, when I went for my actual colonoscopy, the doctor that was doing it was like, why are you here? And I'm like, well, because I'm advocating for myself. I kind of want that peace of mind, for my, well-being. So yeah, it's important to kind of be your own advocate, if you will.
Definitely. So I do see we have a couple questions. I'll see here. The first one I'll direct towards Karen about the dragon boats and paddling. I think it's just kind of a clarifying question. Do you have to be a part of the fitness classes first before you can join the paddling?
They do have, you have to paddle 5 times in order to participate in the Dragon Boat Festival. And I believe you have to take 15 Hope Chess classes before you're allowed to paddle.
Okay. So give yourself like a month to 2 months to
Yeah.
do all your classes before you expect to hop in a boat.
I forgot to mention, in addition to the June 15th Dragon Boat Festival that we have at Buffalo River Works, we do go away 2 times. We have participated in international festivals in Florida and Italy, and every year we pick 2 festivals. This year, one is going to Burlington, Vermont, and the other one is in Ohio. So in addition to our Buffalo Festival, we go away to other festivals, which is a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah. Oh, we have a special guest, a fluffy buddy. And then let's see here. This one is for Christine from Nickel City. Somebody was checking out your website for oncology massage, and it says that your massage therapist is out on maternity right now. Is she still on maternity? And when will your other therapist be completing the training and offer that service? Oh, you're still muted.
There we go. Someday I'll learn all of this technology. Our Ariel, our massage therapist, is currently on maternity leave. We're anticipating her being back the first week of July. Carrie, who is a massage therapist who's working with us, has about 6 weeks left of the program. So, like I said, we do have the facial services available now, as well as body treatments, but the full massage and lymphatic drainage massages will be available at least by the first week of July. We'll be back in sessions for that. And I did want to add that I had the privilege of spending 2 days at Au Naturel last November, and the boutique is phenomenal, and the ladies there are just so professional, but warm and embracing, and it was just a great atmosphere and vibe in there. So I definitely recommend them.
Awesome, thank you. So then the next question is for Au Naturel. This person is wondering about timeline a little bit. When is the best time to visit if you're going to have a mastectomy with reconstruction and spacers? Can you visit ahead of surgery or should you wait until after?
Okay, yeah, so I'll take that one. First, thank you to Christine for that was very sweet of you. Yes, so we always welcome someone to come in pre-surgery just to look around, just to understand the space and the products we offer. That post-surgical cami that I showed might be something that would be helpful. Sometimes the doctors prescribe them and send patients. It just depends on who's your surgeon. If not, you certainly could take a look at it and ask your surgeon if you could have it, for post-surgery, for your post-surgery needs. So yes, we would love to see you prior to surgery. If that doesn't work for you, it's generally after your follow-up with the doctor. So that usually happens within the first 3 weeks after your surgery. That's when you would have the conversation with your doctor if he or she feels you're ready to come in and be fitted for a bra. And again, that's somewhere between a 3 to 6 week timeline.
Thank you so much. I've got another one for you guys over at the boutique. This one is regarding lumpectomies, do you guys have prostheses that are designed for lumpectomy rather than a full breast removal? I think you guys kind of touched on that for a brief
Yeah,
moment, but if you
yeah.
could just circle back and just go a little further into that, that would be great.
Yeah, so especially, again, a lumpectomy doesn't take as much tissue of the breast as a mastectomy, so that's why it's considered partial. But there are cases when there's enough missing from the breast that it does make a difference in how your bra fits. And certainly we find that if you have radiation after your lumpectomy, over time, the radiation affects the tissue in the breast, often shrinking the breast even further, which makes that imbalance even more obvious as time goes on. So this product is designed especially for that. It is a prosthesis. It does fit into the pocket of a bra, but as you can see, it's hollowed out. The mastectomy one actually is flush, so that goes flush up against your chest wall, where this has, I don't know if you can see it on the Zoom, but it actually has a space in here for the breast tissue that's still left. But then it gives you that fullness that you need to equalize to the other side. So yes, there are products for lumpectomies that will help equalize you, that will fit into the bra.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Awesome. All right. So let me just double check real quick. I think we
I think
answered
that's
everybody's
yeah, I
questions.
think that's all the questions for now.
Feel free to still type them in if you're still thinking or working on typing it in. We'll stay on for another minute or two just to make sure we got it all. But